between life and death if we were ever to become stranded for an unexpected night in the outdoors. Now, for all of our planned adventures, we always backpack with a tent because I personally like the comfort of a complete enclosure around me. Now, this year we've got, I think, 6 Big Agnes tents crammed into that Subaru outside, but there's so many tents hanging, I didn't want to set one up. But
and they're all Big Agnes?
And they're all Big Agnes. So we'll tell you a little bit about some of the tents here. I don't remember the name of this.
We've got the Copper Spur in the back. There's the one man, I think, back there.
Bird. What is this? What model is this?
That's the Lynx Pack.
Okay,
that's a two-person.
The two-person, it's a free season. We can take this out most times of the year other than winter. Packs out to be 5 pounds, 8 ounces. There is a killer lightweight two-person in the back set up behind the North Country folks. Two-person, 3 seasons, 3 pounds, 6 ounces, and it gets lighter even yet. They've got a new one coming out, the Fly Freezer's out. Two-person tent, half weight is 2 pounds, 2 ounces. Pretty amazing stuff. All 3 season tents, all freestanding tents too. So you obviously don't need to pitch them or stake them down for them to stand upright. Now, this system that we're taking apart, we said earlier, is set up for a solo journey. It actually has in it the Big Agnes 3-wire bivvy. This bivvy weighs 1 pound 12 ounces, and the beauty of it is you can pitch it pretty much anywhere you can lay your body. Now, if we were going to carry the bivvy, we would most likely pack out some type of tarp as well, and we actually used this poncho tarp here from Sea to Summit on our hike across the country because of how many different uses that it served us. This could easily be all of your rain gear. This could also be your pack cover because it's big enough for your pack to fit under as well. And then pitched properly, this is also a great lightweight shelter option or a good addition to your bivvy. Now, where we store our shelter, we always backpack together, so we share the weight of the shelter, but we separate it, so if we were ever to become separated outside, we would still both have a working shelter option. So I always pack out the tent body and the poles. Randy always packs out the rain fly and the stake. We store our shelter in the top compartment of the pack, closer to the bottom. Again, we try to keep it centered between our shoulder blades to help balance that load out.
So we certainly want a shelter that's going to keep us comfortable and safe for a night in the outdoors. But what happens if you have a run-in similar to the one I had, where I actually had a cyst burst in my knee, created a leg lock environment. I physically could not walk. I was stuck in the same tent in the same spot for 5 straight nights. You come out of the other side of that with any sanity left amongst yourself, then I want you to answer this question. We actually took this as a poll to our entire reader base at Backpacker Magazine. I want to see how it shapes up in this room, if the numbers are anywhere close. But if you're stuck in a tent for 5 straight nights, what do you need with you to keep your sanity? How about a game, an iPod, or some type of music, or a book? Who would like a game? Any gamers amongst us? A few of those. How about the music? Anybody need, more of those? And then the book, the rest of you? Shaped up pretty much the same way that it did with the full poll. Now, having lived that experience myself, I don't take any chances. I bring all 3. All right? The book, the game, and the iPod. Now, the beauty of putting together an efficient system of gear, searching for the right materials, the right fabrics, the right performance characteristics, you can put together a very comfortable, lightweight kit and still bring some luxury items. This entire kit, including the book, game, iPod, including the trekking poles on the side, including the 6,000 calories worth of food, still weighs in at under 25 pounds. So knowing that I can do that, I can justify some items that I can bring along that can enhance my experience out there on trail. Now the last piece of this puzzle, the only thing we haven't pulled out of the pack yet, are the 2 remaining items in the very bottom compartment. And we talk about the compartments in the pack, and this is a critical thing to think about. Deuter does a great job of giving you this technology. Take advantage of the technology in your pack. There is a divider, and it does serve a very critical purpose. These bottom items, I had my clothes down there, my sleeping bag, and my sleeping pad down there. These are very lightweight, bulky items that I don't want getting unevenly compressed throughout the day. So the weight of the heavier items, the food bag and the shelter that I want higher on the back between the shoulder blades, it can actually be held up by the divider. And the divider is protecting these lightweight but bulky items that are underneath. So take advantage of the technology in your pack. When it comes to sleeping bags and sleeping pads, a couple of things we want to think about. With our sleeping bag, it's going to be temperature rating and fill material, because the fill material is going to determine what kind of temperature rating we're going to be able to get to. But temperature rating, for the longest time, has been a very difficult process to maneuver through because manufacturers could do any test on any bag and give you their rating, and it's kind of a guide, not a guarantee, and they can all be a little different as far as tests. Well, fortunately for us as consumers, we are forcing the market in the direction of standardized testing, and fortunately the EN 13537 testing system is one that we know gives us a lot of information that will allow us to make an educated decision. I'll give you an example of why this is important. This is the Orion 20, a great 20-degree bag from North Face. They've had a lot of success with this bag. I give them kudos for putting this bag through this process before they are forced to do so by the industry. But if you look at a 20-degree bag that they call a 20-degree bag, the comfort rating, once it came out of the standardized test, was to 35 degrees. So there's a pretty big variance there. The limit rating was 24 degrees. So they're telling you that if below 24 degrees, you're going to be cold in your 20-degree bag. So we need to make sure we're aware of this. Now, the extreme rating was -6 degrees. You're going to stay alive down to -6, but you might not be warm in the process. But at least with that type of standardized testing, now, no matter who the manufacturer, I get all three of those numbers. I know exactly what conditions I'm going to be protected against, and I can choose a bag that actually matches my. Cool.